I rise today to discuss the nomination of Eric Holder to be United States Attorney General. Unfortunately, I cannot support his nomination to this post. While Mr. Holder certainly has the experience and credentials that one would want to see as head of the Department of Justice, his judgment is lacking. As a Deputy Attorney General in the Clinton administration, Mr. Holder approved several controversial pardons. First, I would like to mention the case of Mark Rich. At the close of the Clinton administration, a pardon was issued for this infamous fugitive financier. Mr. Rich was charged in the early 80s with 51 counts of tax fraud for evading more than $48 million in taxes. He was also indicted for conducting illegal oil deals with the Iranian government at a time that Iran was holding 52 U.S. citizens hostage. Mr. Rich then fled the country and allegedly re-announced his citizenship to avoid extradition. This was enough to land him on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Mr. Holder's recommendation on this pardon of Mr. Rich was neutral, leaning favorable. Accounts indicate that he did this without consulting the prosecutors handling the Rich case in the Southern District of New York. His willingness to push this pardon ahead is troubling, to say the least. The second questionable pardon involves Mr. Holder, concerns 16 members of the terrorist group, the Armed Forces of the National Liberation, better known as FALN. This radical group supports Puerto Rican independence and was labeled as a terrorist group by the FBI between 1974 and 1983. FALN claimed the responsibility for more than 120 bombings in the United States. These bombings killed 6 people and injured many more. Mr. Holder overturned previous denials of clemency for these terrorists. The pardons were also opposed by 2 U.S. attorneys who prosecuted FALN cases by the FBI. According to the Los Angeles Times, Mr. Holder even overruled the Office of the Pardon Attorneys at the Department of Justice. In fact, Mr. Holder never reached out to the opponents of this clemency, nor one family or of the victims. The son of a man killed by the FALN bombing first learned about it from the pardons reading the newspaper. I am also very concerned about Mr. Holder's views on the Second Amendment rights. During his confirmation hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee, he was consistently vague and would not answer directly on questions regarding the Second Amendment. I find this to be unsettling and unsatisfactory. However, past statements and actions indicate a nominee who has shown hostility towards the rights of Americans to keep and bear arms. The Supreme Court decision last year in the Heller case reaffirmed that the Second Amendment is an individual right, and Mr. Holder opposes this decision. He seems to hold the view that gun possession is not really a right, as the Heller case confirmed, but more a privilege or hobby that needs to be strictly regulated. Mr. Holder is supportive of old ideas for gun control that have never proven to make people safer at the expense of taking away their rights. He has indicated that he will favor licensing and registering all gun owners, a policy that I don't think will sit well with Americans. Lastly, the Attorney General of the United States is the nation's top law enforcement official. He cannot pick and choose which of our rights he will defend and which ones he will overrun. His views on the Second Amendment make me very wary of his appointment to this great position that he is now being appointed to. Coupled with his handling of the Clinton-era pardons, and I think this nominee is very worrisome. It is unfortunate, but I cannot support this nominee. I will be voting against his appointment, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.